Hello and a very warm welcome to Weirdo.Rocks. Today is day 67 of my 90 days content challenge. My name is Leo Brunhofer and today I gonna talk about co-founders. How you can find them, what you have to consider if you're bringing some other people into your business. When is it maybe better to uh, start alone, and yeah, what you have to think about when you start a business with someone else. um, Maybe I start with my own experiences and my own thoughts about this. Of course, this is uh, it the clear question to should I found a company with a co-founder, should I find a co-founder or not, would be it depends. So it's not clear, it's never clear. But yeah, I would say if you want to start a startup, for example, a real big business with big visions, where you want to conquer the world with your idea and your business, then these classical startups are rarely, it's rarely enough to be alone. I mean, you can start alone and on the way to find out the team to after your idea is clear, maybe if you don't have someone from the start. But yeah, most of the time there is so much work, you don't have all the skills, you need some kind of partners. Sometimes it's possible to outsource stuff if it's not your core business, but even if you outsource, you should have a understanding of the tasks of the part of the business that you're outsourcing inside the business, inside your company. So yeah, in my case, it was like this. You always have should have in mind that it's like having a co-founder is like having a really similar to having a romantic relationship. You really should come along with each other. You should at least have a clear vision together. You should be able to spend, I don't know, 40, 60, 80 uh, hours per week with this other person, with your co-founders, without being bothered. So it's not easy. And of course, as long the sun is shining, everything is going like planned, it's quite easy. There is most of the time no big issues, no big problems. But yeah, also true is that there is almost no business where the sun is shining all the time. So there will be uh, hard times out there with maybe money issues, with whole market is not responding as you think. You never know. Maybe big crisis again, economic crisis. So there can be rough times, of course, and then mostly it shows if you fit together, if you can deal with the situations with your co-founder that yeah, needs to be figured out. And yeah, in my case, 2010, I went uh, with one co-founder into my first own startup with Tom. Yeah, I think I would say we're really working together great in the sense that I was the CTO, he was responsible for the business parts back then, and we really had a different kind of skill sets where yeah we could work on. But over time, um, through some yeah different situations, maybe I will talk in more detail later. It just didn't work out together anymore for us. We had the same vision, I would say, but the way how we want to achieve the goals was totally different. And after a year of trying to solve our conflicts, our yeah, I decided to leave the company, which was really really hard. It's yeah a lot of yeah my energy, of course, same valid for Tom. went into this company. It was not easy to leave, but yeah, we didn't see a way together to continue. And yeah, this is never easy, of course. And if one of the co-founders is leaving the company, that's also not the best for the company, of course. To answer a question in the chat, could it also work if your co-founder is the complete opposite of you, personality-wise, for example, or if co-founder has slightly different vision? Mm, Personality, of course, I think that can be even fruitful. Let's say if you're more not so the selling person, you're more like the strategic person. You're good with operations, with planning, and your co-founder is good, more maybe this extrovert personality, who is great in selling, going out there and making contacts, socializing, uh, networking. Then of course that would be great. Vision is a bit more difficult in my opinion. I think you should. There are always slightly differences in the vision. I would say, since you never can pin it down to so much detail that you would say, okay, we have totally the same vision. But the vision is something that is, in my opinion, yeah, is long term. Shouldn't change. Should never change if possible, or not change so much. Everything else should be planned or set according to the vision. You basically make your daily decisions what you are working on according to your vision somehow. So the vision should be really clear, and yeah, you should be on the same page with your vision. Do not get into troubles if some person is working to a different direction than you maybe. So also, what is really complicated, for example, if you have 5 co-founders, uh, be fair with the shares. It's not always easy to figure out. Everybody should have a good feeling with the shares that they are getting. Of course, depending also on the form of company you're forming. But yeah, if there are some strange feelings from the beginning about the distribution of the shares, believe me, in bad times, this will come up. This will lead to yeah, um, complications, and yeah, uh, yeah, maybe discussions that are not helpful, uh, especially in the startup area. If you are starting something, you are can compete with the big boys, with the big corporations, because you are lean. You can adjust. You can uh, make faster decisions. You can yeah, beat them up somehow, because you are way more flexible than the big boys, and you can be innovative, which most of the big corpos are not able to be anymore. So I would say, yeah, mm, if you are fighting with others, if you have conflicts in the founders team, you should really look that you solve these issues. Otherwise, yeah, you lose your big advantage over the other corporations. If there are starting politics coming into your startup, you're doomed, I would say. Yeah, so really take your time when you pick a co-founder. Mm, be Don't be an asshole. Be fair. Be open. Don't sell to your co-founder. Just yeah. Try to figure out where the vision of your co-founders is, where they see themselves, where they want to develop to. If this is according to where you see them in their company. This is not clear for most of the people who are starting a business, where they want to be in 5 years, how they want to develop. But you can try to figure out where they see them, and then maybe some things are coming up that are maybe red flags. And you, as I said, you're spending a lot of time with this person. So yeah, it's I would say for me, it's in the meantime, it's really like I rather go a little bit longer alone before teaming up with someone where I think where I have some red flag doubts. Yeah, that's one thing, but not everybody wants to found a startup. So you to the question, maybe if you need a co-founder, I would say, depending on what you're starting, if you want to start a small decent business, it's fine to go alone. I mean, you can also team up with other entrepreneurs, find an accountability person, a coach, maybe a mentor, who is guiding you through your steps to stay motivated, since alone that's also hard to, especially if you're starting and you're not used to it, to motivate you day after day. There is also there, the sun is not shining every day. You will ask your question yourself if you're on the right path. But if you have somebody who is neutral and giving you his insights, outside perspective, then I'm sure, yeah, this would work out as well. Of course, you don't have all the skills yet that you need for starting the business, but it's also good to understand your other parts of your business and do stuff yourself, especially if you want to do your own business. You can always outsource it later if you understand it, you know your processes, you know what needs to be done. Then it's always also easier to find an outsourcing partner for that, and without getting ripped off. Yeah, that's some thoughts. So you don't have to find necessarily someone else to start with. Of course, it's nice if you find someone who is sharing the same vision, who wants to do the same thing with you, but it's not necessary. There are other ways to uh, team up with someone, for example. What else? Also, for example, if you would found a company with, let's say, 7 people, shareholders total, everybody is holding is around 15%, same shares for everyone. It's you cannot predict the future if all of the 7 will stay in the company, if they will be happy in a couple of years. Personal situations are changing, of course, and you never, no matter how long you know this person, how long you talked about this. Of course, on the way, this can change as well, but also then you should really try, maybe, especially if you have so many founders, try to make really good contracts, because you have to consider if, for example, if 2 of your 7 co-founders, are selling their shares to someone, you already lost 30% of your company. This means 2 more, maybe, and you cannot make any decisions anymore. Maybe it depends also on the contracts, of course. But yeah, you don't want to come into a situation that your company that you build with your blood and your sweat, that you are not able to make decisions in the company anymore, since a small majority of the company is blocking everything you want to do. So be careful with that as well. There are ways to make this clear in the company contracts, that, for example, you can, if somebody wants to sell his shares of the company, you always need to offer it to the existing shareholders before, for example, or yeah, stuff like this. Also, maybe you can make this parts in the contract, if co-founder X Epsilon is leaving company within 2 years or 5 years, then this and this happens. So if they are not sticking to the company, so that you're not losing the operational power there. Uh, okay, one more question. Can you give a couple of examples when it's much better to be the only person on the board? Hmm. Okay, that's a tough one. I would say there are no clear examples where you would say if you have someone where you would say this is a great fit, we inspire each other, we have the same vision, then you can everything do together. But I would say I don't believe in this. Uh, Same with relationships, for example, as well. I don't believe in. I need a co-founder now. Otherwise, I cannot do anything. My life is over. I need a girlfriend. I need a boyfriend. Otherwise, my life is over. I cannot have my own life. So I would say before you force yourself to find maybe the third, fifth, sixth best match, or just go together with someone as a co-founder, yeah, just go alone. Go the first steps alone, and uh, try to find someone on the way. Also, it's way easier if you have already something to offer, to show. Um, if you have a product already, or maybe you have a first prototype, then maybe you can, your vision is already clearer, your idea is getting more clear, and you can also uh, attract other co-founders more better or easier if you have more to show. Okay, was this okay? Did this uh, answer your question? Okay, that's great. So I would say that's it for today. Um, there are many things. If there are no more questions, of course. Uh, if you have more questions, of course, I can also answer them in the comments. Just feel free to comment, to like, to subscribe, or also click the bell down there. Should be here, I think. This means that you get notified when I'm live again, or if there is a new video. Uh, Always happy about new subscribers as well, of course. And yeah, hope this was helpful. Go out there, try to find your co founder or not. It's up to you. Have a nice evening. Bye.